So, guys, yesterday I sat in the cash room of the United States Treasury in Washington, D.C. Yes, the actual cash room. The one where they literally used to count money and listen to some of the most powerful people in the country. Well, I got to sit there and listen to some of the most powerful people in the country today talk about AI, energy, technology, and where America is headed on many different fronts. We're talking the energy sector, the AI sector, and all of that. Just some of the highlights. A Navy vet turned Oracle vice president, the Amazon policy chief, the vice president of Siemens Defense, the head of comms for Perplexity, the U.S. Secretary of Treasury himself were there. This was all put together by my alma mater and current college, Liberty University. They brought about 150 of their best students, many of their PhD students, myself included. It was an invite I got last week, spur of the moment, and I just jumped on it. I couldn't say no. I had to give it a shot. So I just wanted to say I appreciate anybody who's taking the time. Please leave a like, subscribe, comment, something. Let me know you're here. I love it. And I'm going to break this down for you, what they said and what I thought of it, to be honest. So I'm going to set the stage for you, segment one, the event. It was Liberty University's AI, Energy, and Emerging Technology Summit. The location was the U.S. Department of Treasury in the cash room. I had to send in all my information, get approved by the Secret Service, stuff like that. As someone who previously held a top secret clearance while I was in the military, I didn't think it would be that hard for me, but you never know. I'm gonna check this light and see if I bend it this way. If that lights me a little less washed out. Yes, that's better. So, the date, April 27th, 2026. Anybody who watched my live yesterday I was there, was all dressed up, had a tux on and a nice red tie and a little lapel pin. I haven't had a good excuse to wear a suit in a friendly way in a long time. Usually it's just a death or something like that. Get to wear the tux, not a celebration like this. It was invitation only. It was many of Liberty's PhD students. There was even a bunch of freshmen there in technology sector I got to meet with, senior government tech defense leaders. The keynote speaker was Scott Bessent, and the 79th U.S. Secretary of the Treasury, sworn in January 28th, 2025. He is a Yale-educated Southern Carolinian, former Soros Fund Management managing partner. His message was the historic moment for America infrastructure and economic dominance. We are building the future right now, and we need to stay on top, which anybody knows, no matter what you believe, if we don't stay on top, someone else will. The host guide for the thing, she put a lot of it together. Amazing woman, Paris Malik, and she is the Chief AI Officer and Senior Counselor to the Secretary of the Treasury. She has a background in Columbia, or her background is Columbia Economics, London School of Economics, and Yale MBA. She was formerly a Boston Consulting Group partner, Morgan Stanley exec, Federal Reserve Bank examiner, and she was the person driving the AI strategy inside U.S. Treasury. Amazing woman. Growth, she had said, growth is strongest when more people can access it. That's the whole thing right there. So, my take, as somebody who's been studying, my dissertation is literally about technology speeding up the war powers and the way the government decides to do things, how quickly they can do things. It was a very interesting thing, and as a historian, I just wanted to let you know the cash room hosted Ulysses S. Grant's inaugural reception in 1869. And now it's where we talk about AI factories and nuclear power. History doesn't just stop, it changes. So I wanted to start out also by saying, guys, I hope you brought snacks. Get ready to ride this timeline. This may be a little long today. Check in and out. That's fine with me. So, panel one, the AI frontier. Uh, so there was a gentleman there, last name Philippe, representing OpenAI. I think he was literally one of like the founders. Big important person when it came to all of it. He was representing OpenAI. His models have truly upgraded. He kept saying it and saying it over and over again. His models have just, since even December, since 2020, the models for AI have just hand over fist grown. And I use a lot of AI in my videos, my research, all kinds of stuff. And I mean, I'm going to tell you the truth. In 2020, I started trying to use some of these things to research and some of my topics, and I would just get junk back. And I had this conversation the other day during my practice event. Since December, things have just gone crazy. And he kept saying that, and it was funny because it was literally what I had discussed with you guys a few days before that. And he stated, the pace of improvement is getting faster. He said, you don't get fit by planning a workout. You get fit by working out. America can't win by writing policy papers about AI, by talking about AI. We have to use AI. He also made a statement that was true. And just talking to some of my friends, family, people at the convention, or at the conference, U.S. lags in public perception of AI compared to a lot of the countries that are adopting it. That shapes policy negatively. I'm a big Elon Musk fan. I don't care politically, but the things he's done, the money he's put into different places has been phenomenal. And, when he said about being careful with AI and being scared of it, he's right. But everything that's done to benefit our country and benefit the world has a lot of risk involved, and it's scary before it's usable. So that's something that we need to take into account, that we can be scared of the ideas and we can understand, but we've also got to realize that it's coming. It's the future. We get in front of it and create it correctly, or we get behind. So, key line, AI augments people. It does not replace them. And that's what it should be used for. The fear of replacement is real, but the right use is multiplication. So, I'm going to say I'm living proof of that. Hours of research compressed. I'm more history unbuttoned. I'm more Daryl with AI, not less. With my memory issues and the things that I have, it's a secretary, it's a research assistant, it's a database of everything. Now, you can't just use it with reckless abandon. You have to double check it and stuff like that. But it's the same as reloading some ammo. My dad is a big reloader, and he one time said to me, every third or fourth bullet you reload, check it. Because even though you're pulling the lever for the exact same amount every time, for the same weight, because you want the exact same in each bullet, you need to verify. Trust, but verify. So the second speaker on all that was, and these guys kind of went back and forth. So I had the guy beside me, awesome man. We swapped information. I'm hoping to keep in touch with him. He's a Liberty PhD student as well. Older gentleman, retired Marine. Great guy. He said to me, Daryl, you wrote copious notes. I did, and my handwriting's terrible. So this morning I'm trying to transcribe into Microsoft Word and organize, and I use some AI to help me organize, so don't hate me. Anyway, second guy, Jesse Dwyer, Perplexity AI, head of communications at Perplexity AI search engine challenging Google, former Facebook and Dropbox executive. His angle, who can ask the question? That's the paradigm shift, not who has the answer. AI has the answer a lot of times, not always, but a lot of times. There's a lot of information being shoved into AI right now. Who can ask the question correctly to have those models give us what we need? He said, with the studies being done right now, the highest AI adoption is the top CEOs, right? And then the bottom, entrepreneurs, individual entrepreneurs. And he said these people have a ton in common. They are people who are driven. They're hard workers. and they want to change their community and make history. Um, he said solo founders and small businesses are growing because of AI. It's helping them organize, keep things on track, and grow. Truth is, innovation has mistakes, is what he had said. Overregulation during a period of great fear is dangerous, and companies need self-discipline, not government blanket rules. I agree and disagree with that. As a government hands-off type of person, I also understand that there is some regulation that needs to be done. You cannot have straight craziness, straight anarchy. So, you know, I like to tie each section back into what I'm thinking, and my AI history channel, which History Unbuttoned, YouTube, TikTok, I love it. I love making those videos. A lot of work. I tried to get 2 out today. I failed because I spent the whole day setting up Streamlabs to stream everything. Except for TikTok. I'm looking at you, TikTok. You are the only one who has made my life not fun with this. The rest of you, it's been pretty fun. My channel, my content, AI has been the greatest equalizer for small creators like me. You know, I'm a guy in my library, got a lot of books. I've got access to thousands of journal articles from my 3-4 different colleges I've attended. I've got libraries I can go to, everything. You know, I'm a guy in my library with a Hawaiian shirt, and I can now produce what used to take a whole team. Yes, it takes me a lot of time. Yes, it cost me a good bit of money to make those videos. I know I hear a lot of, it's AI slop. It's this, it's that. I'm going to tell you, maybe it's AI slop, I don't know, but I love the history, and I love being able to make it myself on a budget for the people that are there. The third speaker there was Tanil Walia. Talil Walena. Leia. She was awesome. VP and head of Federal Aerospace and Defense at Siemens. She kept talking about the military, and defense contracts and stuff like that, which, you know, I have a soft spot for her. I'm a military guy. Now, I wasn't great in the military. I'm going to be honest with all you guys and any of my military friends who are watching. I wasn't good in the military. I wasn't great. I loved everyone. I did my best, which I worked hard. I tried to get everybody to do what needed to be done when it could be done. I did what I could do. You know, I believed in the mission, even if I didn't fully fall into it. I did a lot of good. I also did a lot of human error. Anyway, her previous roles, Microsoft and IBM senior tech executive. She worked at Intersection National Priorities and Frontier AI. She helps the U.S. military and government deploy emerging technology. She had a lot to say about manufacturing. She thinks we can make most manufacturing automated. I understand it. I'm behind it. I also am afraid of the job loss. You know, she did say something that I really bought into. Warfighting. We need to keep our warfighting capabilities up to date so that when the eventuality comes, those technologies are used by us, not against us. That's not me anymore. That's not a lot of the people I know. We did our time. We served the best we could. But what it does affect is we have kids and we have grandkids. And some of you, if you're watching, you may be young enough that you're thinking about joining or that you do join. It affects them. It affects you guys. It's chilling but true. A kid in a basement halfway across the world can now attack our warfighters, our children. I'm not against my kids going into the military. I mean, if they don't, awesome. If they do, awesome. They're their own people. I would prefer they not, because I did so they could get college. I did so my life could be a little better, so I could provide for them. However, it's a great way to earn a living, a great way to retire, a great way to have health care for your family. It's a great, I mean, the people I met, my best friends, they're military. Not anymore. Most of them retired. Very few of them. There's a few still in. I don't get to talk to them as much. They're busy. So anyway, manufacturing is her North Star for the economy. Shop floor, efficiency, direct GDP impact. She said, you know, moral conversations with leaders are the edge. Technical superiority isn't enough. We need ethical leadership. She put it this way: there are 3 buckets for AI. There's bucket 1, full automation, things AI can completely handle. This the like for her going the manufacturing floor and stuff like that. There's bucket 2, augmentation, AI helping humans do their jobs better. That's how I like to use it. AI helping me do things better. Someone who has disabilities, who has issues, helping me do the things I want to do in life better. Bucket 3, hands off. Things we do not let AI touch. She didn't get into it. I would like to think that's things like nuclear decisions, stuff like that. Actually, funny story, the reel I'm working on right now is about a man in 1983 who saved the world by not listening to technology. So you guys look forward to that video. I'm going to work on it tomorrow. I might get the 1-minute one out tomorrow, but I'm doing a 1 minute and then like a 7-minute one of the same reel, but obviously one longer. My take, every previous technical leap, iron, gunpowder, the machine gun, the nuclear bomb, whoever mastered it first changed history. We've mastered a lot first. We've stayed on top for a long time. I want to continue staying on top. Here's a current event to relate it to. Think about Maduro. I know it's a hot topic, hot button topic. I don't care. Just think about the precision of it from a technological standpoint. Our troops literally jumped in there, deployed an advanced technology, and got what they came for and got out with minimal issues. That's the edge she's talking about. Some of our best troops dropping in, deploying new technology, getting out, none of them dead. Awesome. That is awesome. So the second panel was about energy dominance. This one I really loved. As a nuclear guy, as a guy that also lives around a bunch of nuclear plants. I've got family who's worked there, by the way. I hope you brought snacks. So, big picture, AI runs on electricity. Massive amounts of it that requires water, cooling. So the panel was asked who controls the power, or the panel was asked and they had said, he who controls the power, that's who wins the AI war. So Shannon Kellogg, he's from Amazon, VP of Public Policy in the Americas. He said, and a lot of this, I've got to fact check a lot of this is what they said, not what I've been able to fact check. I haven't had a lot of time. He said Amazon's spending $200 billion in infrastructure in 2026, mostly data centers, AI hardware, and energy. He said this is a historic period of investment, investing in every power source, including the next generation nuclear power. He said rural areas, such as the forgotten textile towns, data centers can bring those jobs back. Not the textile jobs, they're gone. They've been outsourced to different countries. They're not coming back. The jobs that can come back, electricians, plumbers, construction people, operators, all of the supply and demand that goes into rebuilding a town that has a massive data center. This does change the way rural America looks. But at a time when many of these towns are struggling, dying, burning up, being wiped out, what can be done to give Americans jobs back? He said that that Microsoft bought part of 3 Mile Island. I didn't understand completely. I'd like to learn. I'm eventually going to do a reel about 3 Mile Island and the issue. But he had said that they signed a 20-year deal to restart TMI Unit 1 in Pennsylvania, renamed the Crane Clean Energy Center to power its AI data centers. That is 835 megawatts of clean nuclear power. It was shut down in 2019 for economics reasons. The AI demand brought it back. Online, supposed to be 2028. We'll see if they get there. That's later on in the video. There are some issues with that. So the second guy, Dean Koester, NVIDIA. He's the VP of NVIDIA Public Sector, Biomedical Engineering and Engineering Management from Northwestern. He said energy is the bottom layer of all this technology. You can't run AI without massive, reliable energy and power. So he said that there's a permitting crisis. This is what I was kind of saying before about we'll see if 2028 happens. It currently takes 7 to 10 years to permit a power plant. With AI assisted permitting, getting things figured out, done, that could be cut to 2 years. That's transformational, right? Like I was saying in the beginning, AI feeding into AI, right? This isn't, AI is great for my videos. It's fun to do. I get it. It has so many applications. He also stated the infrastructure alone creates massive skilled job pipelines. He wants electricians, plumbers, operators, supply chain. Interesting guy. Awesome to hear him speak. Kevin Gunderson, Hydra host. He was the third person. Co-founder and COO of Hydra Host, GPO infrastructure, computer infrastructure. He's a Rhodes Scholar, 2 times NCAA shot put champion. Not just technological, also got some physical in there. He referenced the big dig. I had never heard of it. $20 billion if you took that money back then and did it now. He kept equating this AI boom to that. Only he said this AI infrastructure build is 1,000 times that all over the country. I'd love to do a video on this big dig thing. Hopefully one of you can remind me. A lot of my videos come from my viewers, my friends, my family saying, hey, do a video on this. My emu one I just did, which I loved doing, that was my advisor for my dissertation. He told me to do that. He also told me to do the stealth jet one. My cousin had said about doing the tax one, which was also fun. All of them are fun. He said America needs 250,000 new electricians to grow the grid capacity by 50%. He said, compare this to 97 and 98 when Google was nothing and being created. There are equal companies now being born right now. But the big takeaway I got from him was permitting and upgrading the grid is the biggest hurdle, not the technology, the bureaucracy, the red tape. So the last speaker for that was Nick Elliott, small business infrastructure, representing small town view on data centers. He said he's trying to pitch this to local communities. Cheaper operations, sell more, build faster, scale, keep scaling. He said risk must be allocated properly. If companies aren't helping eat the cost and creating local jobs, what's the point? So a lot of people want to make these companies out to be the bad guys, and I get it. Right now is a time to blame these companies, but these companies are sinking a lot of the money that they've earned the past 3 or 4 years into this. But the risk has to pay off for them to continue doing it. Data centers have to be agreed to. And I know in my local area, people are fighting data centers left and right. I'm not getting into the right or wrong of that. I'm just saying they are. And I get it. I love my area. I want the farms to stay the farms. I want the beauty to stay the beauty. I don't want to sell the things to these people, but I get it. So my take, guys, on this, we've done this before. Railroads, electrification, the interstate highway system. Every time people said too expensive, too disruptive, every time what was done defined the next century of American power. This is that moment. This is the moment we needed. This will keep us on top. And right now, we are on top. We need to stay that way. We need to have this discussion with people. We need to get people to be less scared of this new technology. Segment 4, so panel 3, the productivity boom. This was one of my favorites. Didn't think it would be. There was a guy, a speaker, S.P. Kathari, senior advisor on economic policy, Treasury Department, MIT Sloan Emeritus Professor, former chief economist at the SEC. He was awesome. He was straight to the point too, and he said some things that I related to. He's worried about the short term. I'm worried about the short term. Historians are going to be gone for the most, the research portions are going to be gone for the most part. We don't need 6 historians doing research anymore. AI can do that research as long as you've got one guy that knows how to ask the questions, get the information, and turn it into a product. He said the productivity gains will be incredible, but how fast do jobs change before new ones are created? And that gap is the danger zone, I feel. He said long term, he's not worried at all. Long term, the jobs are there. Once the infrastructure starts getting built, there are more jobs, better jobs, technological jobs. And he said history proves this every time. The private sector and government must work together on reskilling and retraining. That is not optional. That was the takeaway from him. You know, I'm not, like I've said it, I'm not a big fan of the government jumping in and controlling. What I am a fan of is the government creating programs that actually help Americans grow. Teach a man to fish. Teach a man to be an electrician. Put a man through college to be an electrician. A woman through college to be an electrician. I just said man, general. We are all man. Put a person through these schools. Teach a person AI. Teach a person plumbing. Teach a person supply management. That needs to be done. So then there was Lauren Penny, Palantir Technologies. Senior figure at Palantir, one of the most sophisticated AI data companies on the planet. She said, in the macro, you cannot replace human critical thinking. AI's best use, subject matter expertise, amplification, not replacement. Force multiplier. Stop thinking of it as AI versus humans and start thinking of it as AI plus humans is unstoppable. That's what I got from her takeaway. It was very interesting listening to her talk about that. Patrick Hedren, Upwork. I thought it was Upstart. VP Legal and Policy, the world's largest human plus AI work marketplace. He said, he had a good example. He said, think of the lamplighter, you know, and I'm not talking about the guy from The Boys. I'm talking about actual lamplighters, the job. Thousands of people whose job it was to go around cities and towns and light gas lamps every single night. Electricity eliminated that job, but it didn't eliminate the people who were lamplighters. It created power workers, electricians, and an entire industry based on electricity. Think of all the jobs that were gone when electricity came. Candle makers. We still have candles, but not as many. And think of the safety things that happened. Houses didn't burn down as much. They still burn down. Electricity's still scary. An open flame is scarier. He said, we need to train people for the jobs that are coming, not the jobs that will no longer exist. This starts now. We need to teach our kids and the kids in college, those jobs aren't going to exist in a few years. You need to be looking at the future. His company has largely shelved the displacement discussions, is what he had said. They need human ingenuity to make AI work. Entry-level software and mechanical work is being automated. He said that's real. It's the base level. However, the people that know how to ask these questions are getting paid more. He said human judgment is earning more money than ever before. That's pretty incredible. Once again, he said the equation, human plus AI, winning formula. Paul DeBar, former nuclear submarine officer, U.S. Naval Academy and Columbia University, former Undersecretary of Energy, commissioned 4 of the world's top supercomputers. One of the few people to travel both in the North and South Poles. Cool little fact. And he said everyone wants to be us in the AI age. He said right now America owns the top supercomputers, and our innovation has built the first successful usable AIs. He said something about Micron and Syracuse, up to $100 billion in infrastructure spent for over the next 20 years for the largest semiconductor fab in the U.S. history near Syracuse, New York. 9,000 direct Micron jobs, 40,000 construction jobs and supply chain jobs, 20,000 construction workers in the first phase alone. Something I didn't think of, these things aren't done either. We build a data center or we build a AI area. In 10 years, that center's going, with the way AI moves so fast, and I'm being probably, 10 years is probably not even close. In 10 years, you need to build onto that, or you need to rip out stuff and input new stuff. That's just how things work with technology, right? So that's something that's got to be thought of too. This isn't a one and done type of thing. This is a always going to be upgraded sort of thing, at least till the next technologies, and who knows what that is. Right? I couldn't comprehend AI as a kid, let alone where we'll be in 100 years. I won't be around. Maybe I will. With my high level of income and modern advances in technology, I mean, Talladega Nights. Personal moment here. I've got family that farms. I love this area for its farming ability. We still need farmers. The agricultural revolution didn't eliminate farming. This is just another example. It made one farmer able to feed thousands, right? The industrial revolution didn't eliminate workers. It changed what and how they built and the quickness they could build it and how many people they could take care of. AI is the same story. We won't stop needing historians, teachers, creators, thinkers. We need to be ready for the new version of those jobs and the jobs that this will bring. So, guys, there was another section after that. I did pay attention, but it wasn't something it was about putting money into having our youth able to use Robinhood better and all of that. The one gentleman there, he was one of the guys who helped create the PPP loans back during the beginning of the COVID, and he is an amazing guy. They were all of them there were amazing. I just did not really dive into what they said. At that point, I'm left-handed, so when I take notes, I write. And I still have, I know I'm a little washed out, and it's actually, you can't even see it, but there was a huge bruise the whole way across my hand from writing. I never got that whole, like, writing like this thing. That hurts my wrist, so I write dragging my hand. So, what this means for me, guys, you know, I'm almost done my degree in history, and I was told in the beginning, and I was told at the dissertation phase, the jobs for historian PhDs are really not there. I wanted to be an adjunct professor. I wanted to be an educator. I thought that was my role in life, was to teach youth, to give them my love of history. I look now, there's not enough jobs. My advisor, incredible man. He's teaching for like 3 or 4 colleges as an adjunct professor. He's got 6 or 7 students under him in the dissertation phase at different stages of that. And there's not enough jobs to go around. The internet and everything has made it so one professor can teach at several different colleges. Tenure's not really a thing anymore. There's only a few spots. There's a lot of people getting these degrees. So I decided to go this AI route with these videos, so that way I can teach, have fun doing it, and these AI videos give me a level of freedom that I never thought I'd have. I don't make money on them. They actually cost me a good bit of money, but I teach people, and who knows, maybe one day people will love my videos enough that I can make them full time. I'd love to release more than 2 a week, but it's already changed my life. The hours of research compressed, I won't even say into minutes, that's a lie. The thousands of hours compressed into hundreds of hours, a few thousand hours. I'm still the historian that wants to figure out what matters and why. AI is the research assistant I could never afford. The research team I could never get. If I was working at a college as a tenured professor, I could have that. That's not going to happen for me. Give me 1 second. That's never going to happen for me, as much as I would love it. It's not possible. But what is possible is now I can do what I love, do it to the best of my ability, and AI is the best research assistant I could ever afford. And I know I'm using it small, and there's much bigger uses. We're going to see it shape the world. But it's been amazing for my little corner. What does this mean for History Unbuttoned? AI lets me produce at a level that used to require a production team. I mean, my stuff's not super amazing, super great. I enjoy it, and I think I do a pretty good job. I've learned a lot. Everything teaches me a little more. The big issue I'm having now is breaking into the algorithm. And they want me to The problem is I'm having to pick integrity and quality over algorithm. Getting the likes, shares, comments, subscriptions, that's hard to do. It's really hard to do. So my dog's barking. She's probably going to run in through here. My doggos, both of them. And so I'm having to put a hook in the beginning. That's not natural for a historian. You want people to learn the story as you tell it. Now I've got to tell somebody something crazy to make them want to stay. And that's not normal for me. It's true, but it's exaggerated. I don't want to exaggerate. I want to tell history in the way that it's meant to be told. But I love these videos and I love doing them, so I'm going to do what I need to do to get them popular, to turn around, to give my artistic dream. And that's why I was talking about, I'm doing that 1 minute video and 7 minute video tomorrow. The 7 minutes gonna be more, this is what I want. The 1 minute's the gotcha, because our society is in the gotcha stage. They want, boom, here's the information, gone, click next reel. That's not history. I can tell you a quick fact. I can be like, I can be like, the Battle of Midway. We sunk all these ships in one. There was so much that went into it. I could tell you guys a 3-hour-long story. I'm a talker. That's what makes a historian. I'm a historian. I can't just tell you a 10-second thing of it and that be good. It's hard. So I'm going to be honest, it's a little scary out there. If AI can summarize sources, build timelines, write first drafts, what happens to the grad students that used to do that? What happens to junior historians? That's the real conversation our field needs to have. So the panel's answer, and this, I kind of buy into it, and I believe it, and I know it's their job to sell it. And I know they're at the positions they're at because they can sell ice to an Eskimo. That's what they do. They sell. And but I believe in some of it. The people who and from my own research and data set, it's true. The people who ask the best questions will always win. Curiosity is the currency of the AI age. The question askers, the critical thinkers, the people who bring the judgment to the AI. That's you, that's me, and that's what we have to protect. The human aspect of all of this. So, big takeaways. Here we go. America is winning the AI race no matter what you hear, but we cannot get complacent. We've got to keep going. We cannot let fear or overregulation destroy this for us. It cannot happen. Energy is the battlefield. Whoever controls the power grid controls the future. Nuclear is coming back. Nuclear has always and will always be the cleanest energy. The infrastructure is being built at a World War II scale investment. If you take that money spent in World War II and move it to here, it's at that level and probably even higher. Electricians and construction workers are the unsung heroes of AI. They will be the people creating the future. Overregulation right now could and would be catastrophic. Innovation requires room to make mistakes, and many of them said this. Mistakes will happen. There will be some scary times. Things are not perfect. New technology does not work. Think of the World Trade Fair, that old story of them electrocuting people with DC current or whatever to show which one was safer. I have to do some more research on that story, but you can look it up. I'll do a reel on it eventually. But new technology is scary. Look at the nuclear bomb. That was terrifying. That technology, absolutely destructive. Nuclear energy, the cleanest energy you can get. The strongest energy we can get. It's incredible the stuff that can be done. AI augmentation. It does not replace, but only if we build the right policies and training programs, in preparation of all of this. The question asker wins. Curiosity and AI are the equation of the future. So I did my drive up there. I did my drive to DC. I wanted to stay an extra day, hit some of the museums. I actually plan on doing that this summer. I'm going to see if my son wants to go up there and check out a few of them with me. I'm interested in checking those museums out. I haven't seen any of them since I was a kid. So look for those lives in the future. But I walked up into that room as a student of a school and came out thinking about Bell Labs, the Transistor, Palantir, NVIDIA, these giant titans that are creating the future, that took time out of their day to discuss this with a bunch of college students, freshmen, seniors, master's degree seekers, PhD students. It was incredible listening to these people talk. They took their time. Scott Bessent didn't speak a whole lot. He was maybe 5-10 minutes. What he said was great, but a keynote speaker is always get in there, lay the foundation, get out. He took that time though. You can't tell me that he is not one of the busiest people in the country right now. We know he is. So it's one of those things where, hey, where we need to be ready for this future, and these people were willing to take this time. So just a quick reference of the people we talked about today. Paris Malik, Chief AI Officer and Senior Counsel to the Secretary of Treasury, was there. Scott Bessent, Secretary of the Treasury, keynote speaker. Philippe, OpenAI Representative. Jesse Dwyer, Head of Communications. Tanil Walea, VP Federal Aerospace Defense. Hamza Jahangir, VP AI Solution Engineering. He was Oracle. He was awesome. Dean Koester, VP NVIDIA Public Sector. Shannon Kellogg, VP Amazon Americas. Kevin Gunderson, Hydra Host, co-founder, COO. Bye, dogs. Garrett Johnson, co-founder, COO, Hydra Host. SP Kathari, U.S. Treasury. Lauren Penny, Palantir Technologies. Patrick Hedren, Upwork Legal, VP Legal and Policy. Paul DeBar, Department of Commerce. And Ash Shrivastava, Managing Partner at Uma Ventures. So, and I'm just going to say, I butchered a lot of those names. I'm not good at names, better at dates. So, I hope you guys actually got something out of this. I got a lot out of being there. These live events that I'm setting up, I'm hoping this one went pretty good. I don't know if it did, but if it did, awesome. I hope I got some comments. I hope I got some likes, some love. You guys are fantastic. You start small, right? That's how things go. And I'm gonna keep pushing. Whether people support me now or not, I support it, and I think I have a good message. And I'm excited to see what the future holds, guys. So if you guys would like to see more, subscribe to my YouTube, my Facebook, my TikTok, History Unbuttoned. That is, you can search any of those and find me. It's not hard to do. Like and comment on some of my older videos. I would love it. You can see the progression of how they've gotten better. Watch some of the old ones and say, look, this one was okay, but you can tell it's older. You can be honest. Just don't go in there and say, hey, AI slop. I get enough of that. It's not slop. It's hard work. It's facts. It's energy that I have to spend doing it. It's energy that AI has to spend doing it. So, I'm History Unbuttoned. And I hope you guys come back to ride this timeline with me again. Have a good time. Much love to TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, all of the above, however you're seeing me, Twitch, if that worked. And